That first 30 minutes looked like we could qualify for Europe. That last hour looked like I think we wouldn't even qualify to be in this league. I'm not being funny. Welcome back to Palace Mad Mason. Hello everyone, it's Mason here. Welcome back to the channel. And you know what? It's been a good run with the away form in the Premier League. It's our first away defeat since the 21st of October, but it's come to an end. Full time at the Etihad Stadium, Manchester City 5, Crystal Palace 2. Reminded me of the game, which is a review on the channel still to this day, when we lost in 2022, going 2-0 up and losing 4-2, 3 of Man City's goals being a Haaland hat-trick. But with Haaland being out of this team, I thought it would have been a little bit easier for Crystal Palace today. But as I said at the start, that first half an hour was utterly brilliant from us. And even though we did lose 5-2 and it looks like a bit of a battering, to be honest, I don't really want to take that first half an hour away from the team because it was brilliant. The goal from Eze, now I just want to quickly say that goal was, I think, probably the easiest goal I've seen us ever score against Manchester City as a Palace fan, to be honest with you. And I think that just shows how badly City started the game. And as soon as Chris Richards headed in for only his second goal for the club to make it 2-0, I thought, right, just no silly mistakes here. And then Eze makes it 3, but was marginally offside. And I thought, well, you know, if he just timed his run a little bit better, a split second time-wise, then we'd have been out of sight. It would have been much harder for Man City to come back from that, even though they did score 5 in the end. That goal from De Bruyne, you know, it just completely wrong-footed Henderson out the way with the free kick. And, you know, it was clever from De Bruyne, and obviously it's his first goal since he announced he's leaving City as well. So I always knew that he was going to put in a performance today, and he got man of the match. So, you know, it was a good performance from him and City, especially in that second half. One thing that I don't understand with Palace in the second half is the whole Mateta substitution for Will Hughes. I'd understand it if we were 2-0 up, even 2-1. But 2-2, all right, City were looking a lot more dangerous. You want to be a bit more defensively solid. But even when Hughes come on, we looked a whole lot more open. And I don't get how that works out, to be honest with you. But you know what? I think in the grand scheme of things, the way City played after they got their first goal, they do deserve the win, and they're fighting for a lot more than us in the Premier League right now, hunting down the top 4. And I think our slight possibilities of Europe for the Premier League is now pretty much over, unless if we get some mad luck through other teams messing up against lesser teams like Brighton, somehow losing to Leicester, or even worse, Villa somehow losing to Southampton. Then I don't think that will happen. But yeah, there you go. I just think it was a very poor second half. I think as soon as Mateta come off, you could see the lack of attacking intent we had. We got a little bit better going forward as soon as the game was done. Once City made it 4 and 5, we got forward a little bit more when Franca came on, especially. But Glasner can work with what's in front of him. Didn't have Gay available, didn't have Nketiah available to come off the bench, nor Romain Esse. The only attacking intent player we had was Matheus Franca. And for some reason, he didn't utilise him until we did go 5-2 down. And at that point, with 15 minutes to go, you can't come back from that. Plain and simple. So in terms of the Premier League table, Crystal Palace remain in the bottom half. You know, once we went 2-0 up, we was in the top half, but obviously not for long. With our next game being our game in hand, which actually is, I would say, quite a massive game, sort of defines our Premier League season away at Newcastle, who again, just like City, are fighting for those Champions League spots. And I think the same thing might happen again. I just think that we are trying to now just keep the players fit for the FA Cup. Obviously, Eze didn't look great when he got injured there, but he carried on for a little bit. But then ended up getting subbed off. Was it a knock for Jean-Philippe Mateta? That's the only way I can excuse him being taken off with the form that he's in. But now I think the next 3 Premier League games is all about keeping these players fit and just hopefully get the best out of this team whilst trying to do that. But I understand, obviously, we haven't got the best depth in this squad. And when you look at the 3 games, Newcastle, Bournemouth and Arsenal, it's not really the easiest games, is it? So I think the Premier League form might start to fizzle out. But anyway, that's the end of the review. I am gutted because we've conceded 5. And the way we started that game, it doesn't really reflect the first half an hour of the game especially. But it is what it is. It's Man City. They'll carve you apart if you make mistakes, even without Erling Haaland. But anyway, like, share, subscribe. My next video will be on Wednesday night after Newcastle against Crystal Palace. So yeah, see you guys soon.